Hello. No, you're not
Hello.
missing anything, Marilyn. We were chatting. No worries. I'm gonna wait like maybe 2-3 minutes to see if more people will pop on. How was your
There, I'm
week?
just trying. Oh, just it's so busy, just so busy doing this challenge, right? And filming every single day.
The Everbit
Like,
Counts challenge?
yeah, it's
Yes.
it's a lot. It's a lot. I'm happy I'm doing it, but I'm like, oh, I'm so glad, and just it's been everything I planned for today hasn't gone right. So I'm going to have a late evening because I still have one more thing I want to do for today that I'm
Okay.
trying. I've tried to film it 4 times now and I've had to stop because,
Life.
family members.
Hi, Timmy. Yeah, well, for me, weekends, I cannot film unless it's like me doing something and then I add music or
Yeah.
I chat over
Yeah.
me doing something. Like today I filmed so this is day 1 of the last week of the challenge.
Yeah.
So I film myself doing what I'm doing, but then I have all the kids and my husband and my neighbors playing music and like everyone's making so much noise and I'm trying to stay calm filming myself.
Jessica at Three Rivers, the one who's doing this challenge, she's been doing voiceovers now for quite a while with her videos because, like she said, it's just too loud at her house
Of course.
to try. So she said, and it seems to be working for her. I will admit, I get why she has to do it, but I will admit that after every week of her doing it, I'm hoping she's going to do one soon where she's not doing it. Just
Yeah.
kind of thing, just because it gets to be a lot when it's all the time.
Well, it's kind of like a long period, and if it's not interesting, your viewers might like linger
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
So I do my best. Like there's so much I can do. My kids are small, so they're gonna
Yeah.
make noise.
Oh
But
yeah. My
we
kids
can't.
aren't small and they make noise, Annie. So
Yeah, but the tantrum,
oh, yeah.
the tantrum. I don't want all the planet to know the tantrums go through
Hmm.
because I said I can't do it now because I'm filming. So,
With
hi
me, it's
Tracy.
with me too, it's the new puppy. All she wanted was me today. Me,
Oh,
me, me. That's all she wanted. She
she's
kept coming out to the kitchen and
adorable.
she'd crawl up my legs. And if I didn't pay attention to her, she'd cry and she'd paw at my leg. And I'd have to reach down and pick her up and hold her and carry her around. And I'm like, it's like having my kids when they were little again. I can't get anything done.
She was playing the
So,
cute card.
yeah, yeah. So I finally put my foot down today and I said, look, she is ruling the house and that's not the way it works. Like we need to like
Boundaries.
yes, yeah. So David's just about 98% done of the fence that he's been working on all weekend. So he should be able to finish that up this evening and then it'll make our lives a little bit easier with having her and our other dog just to be able to let them out and they can go out there for a bit and
Oh,
get
that's
out from
nice.
underfoot.
They'll have access to the
Yeah.
backyard.
Yep.
It does present a little challenge to have a pet and young kids, but
Oh,
like we try to do the best of it, and I'm sure that the viewers they sort of can like
yeah.
understand it. I guess the
Uh,
people that don't understand, it's like the newcomers or someone that just is just looking for a how-to video, quick.
yeah. Or
Maybe
don't have
they,
children or
yep,
animals.
yeah. So, but it is what it is. And
Yep.
I tried filming the Everbit counts and it didn't work for me. Like I got injured last week and there's actually 2 days I didn't preserve because I was so nauseous, so dizzy,
Yeah.
and like my head was like all over the place. So and then the days after, instead of like doing like huge stuff like I did last year, like 2-3 recipes every day, I did like I dehydrated, I think was like
Yep.
two cups of, I can't remember what. I think it was a garlic or onion, and that was it. That's
Yep.
what I dehydrated that day.
Yep.
And
A lot of some of my videos have been, especially before the garden was really starting to produce. was a
Yeah.
lot of like, I'm like, all I have to show you are I'm drawing herbs today, but it is amazing how much these little bits are adding up.
Yeah.
Like when I start looking around, I'm like, okay, Lynn, like you got about 20 cans of corn there canned, so that's not bad. And like I'm looking all around, so I know next month's going to be busy for me because
Of
that's when a
course.
lot of my stuff will be ready. But I'm I would last year I would have like these great big huge canning days, and by 8-9 o'clock at night I'd be so exhausted I literally would fall face first into bed. You know?
That was me last year. Like I wouldn't be I would be so hard on myself, and I would like do 2-3 recipes every single day, either
Yeah,
fermenting
yeah,
or anything I could try.
yeah.
Uh, could you imagine if I tried to edit out
Mm-hmm.
chickens, roosters, and cats? I never.
No.
True, true, true. Yes, I do feel better. I had
Good.
a little. My daughter had a little moment of she didn't pay attention to what she was doing, and she slammed the door on my head, like the hatch door of the
Ooh.
car, and she jumped out of the car, so she smashed my head, and I was like dizzy for a couple of days.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she felt so bad.
Yeah, my vertigo has been acting up really bad too. And I had a couple of days where like all I'm doing today is saving some seeds and putting these in the dehydrator. That's my day.
Well, you're
Because
doing something.
yeah, I fell. Was it 2 days ago? I went out and was harvesting, and I fell 3 times in the garden. I said, "That's it. I give up. I obviously cannot like do this." So, and then we've had the roof getting done
Yeah,
and
I
our
remember that.
sliding in our gutters, and that just seems to be taking forever. And there's 3 little things they have to come back and do tomorrow. 3 tiny little things that they need to finish, and then
They're gone.
they're done. So and it
Good.
looks amazing. Like I'm very happy with it. Like
Okay.
I can't believe it's our house. Like we go out and I look around, I'm like, I can't believe this is our house.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm sure you're like not happy. Like you're happy when they arrive, and then you have that moment of like you're seeing all the chaos, and you have
oh,
like trouble seeing it getting done.
and
But then there's a point where you're just like, oh, right, this is what it's supposed to look like, and then you feel blessed
well,
of
and
the
it's just
transformation.
your life is upside down,
Yeah.
right? While they're doing it. And then we get a new puppy halfway through, right? So then I'm trying to navigate what doors we can take her out. And then it confuses her what doors she's supposed to go to. And I'm just like, you've got to be,
Logistics.
yeah. So I'd be glad when the challenge is done this week because my house needs some attention.
Tender loving care.
It's a mess. I'm upset at myself a bit at how messy it is because this is not like it is out of hand, and I'm feeling out of sorts because things are just not organized, and I can't work that way. So
I have an island in my kitchen right now.
stuff right now.
There's 3 huge containers of tomatoes changing colors, like containers about like dollar store, the big ones,
Yep.
3 full.
Yep.
And then I have 25 jars of pizza sauce, 3 jars of sauce. I have like my green bean harvest, my carrot harvest, and I had like this puny, tiny little area where I could cut vegetables.
Yeah. We bought the island so I would have more space to do my work. And right now it's full of jars, it's full of lids, it's full of it's waiting for the next project. I've got a great big box of pears on my kitchen table that's taken up half the table. On my floor, I've got a big box of tomatoes that I'm waiting to ripen, another box of bell peppers I'm waiting to ripen, and a little bag of the indigo rose tomatoes I'm waiting to ripen. Like it's just like it's like a minefield walking around my kitchen right now.
It's a parkour.
Yes. Yeah.
The homesteader version parkour.
And I just keep saying to myself, Lynn, like once you get to everything and everything's done, this was the way it was last year too. You were freaking out about everything, and once things slow down, then you can
Relax a little.
Oh gosh. My husband says, I don't know where we're putting all this stuff you're canning. I'm like, oh, I've got plans.
I'm actually full. As soon as I am done canning just my tomato sauce, just the sauce, nothing else, I have no more space. There's nothing else. and I'm like, I count, like, later on today, I'm going to say how many jars I have canned up till
Yep.
today, but
Yep.
that does not count what was canned
In
last
July.
year.
Well, yeah. Well, me, it's like I'm not
Last year.
even
No, I mean
counting. Yeah. Oh,
all
okay. Yeah.
over this year and then the year before prior. I
Yeah.
didn't count all of the jars.
The only thing I have left from last year is a few pickles and some strawberry jam. Like I didn't have a lot left.
Only?
Like we ate, yeah, we ate pretty much everything. And I didn't can as much last year because I didn't have the pressure canner. So a lot of things went in the freezer, right? Because I'm thinking,
Ooh.
why don't I have room for that? Oh yeah, I'm pressure canning a lot of stuff this year.
I
So
am too.
I noticed there's a lot less empty jars on my shelves. Like as the empty jars come off, that's where I put, and I'm like, uh-oh, there's only so many empties left, and then and then I'm running out of space. But that's what you put them in a box under a bed.
Yeah, well, it's still a bit warm. If I
Yeah.
am stuck and I have no more space, I wait in like late October, November, and I put it under the bed because it's fresh and we open the window during the day. So
Yeah.
like there's always like an airflow going on.
Yeah.
But I'm not there yet. I've never actually put it under a bed, but I might have to.
Oh, I used closets and under bed when we lived in military housing because there's zero space in those houses, like zero. I put stuff, absolutely, and we'd go to open a closet and it's supposed to have your broom and everything, and there's a box of jar canned something.
Fun.
And I'm just reading Marcy's comment. I did that last year. I froze almost all my tomatoes, and then like Octoberish, I that's when I made all my tomato sauce and did my salsa and stuff because I didn't have enough at a time to do it all, so I just kept freezing them until I got enough. And but my grandmother used to make like a lot of her jams. She'd freeze a lot of the fruit and make them in the hotter months because it was or colder months because it was just way too hot. Yeah, it was way too hot in the summer. She didn't have air conditioning, right? So
I'm testing something this year. After that I'll catch up on the comments. As I have a 15-liter pot, a stock pot, and I process tomatoes with my machine, and once that is full, I'm gonna do it like in 2 sessions. Like one night I'm gonna do half of it, and then I'm gonna wait late the other day, and then I have enough tomatoes to fill that. I think it's like 15 or 16 liters. I can't remember. And once that is done, I do like a 3-time a pizza sauce, and then whatever is left, I do sauce. But I think once my pizza sauce is done, I think I'm going to do what you said. I think all my tomatoes are going to be frozen, and I'm going to do one sauce canning session because it's going to be time consuming for sure. But I don't think I'm going to regret it because it's going to be one hectic weekend, and then it's going to be done.
Yeah. I know. I love my roasting. My big electric roaster. That makes things so much easier because man, can you get a lot of tomatoes in that sucker?
I did that last year. I was thawing them in there, and I passed it like quick in my machine to remove the skins and the seeds, and then I would
immersion blend. Yeah.
No, I don't immersion blend the skin and the seeds. I just pass it through my I have like an Italian pasta sauce machine to process that I bought used. I just pass it through that. It removes the skins and the seeds, and then I put it back in the roaster
Awesome.
all night long so that it evaporates, and then the next day I count it. That's what I did last year.
My mom got me an immersion blender for my birthday last fall. And I love it for some things, but I find like, especially like the tomatoes, because they're hot, if I'll immersion blend and then it gets too hot and it shuts itself off and I have to wait for it to cool down before it will work again. So I'm not finding it as handy as I thought I would.
Well, I saw someone, I saw a couple of homesteader now that they immersion blend the seeds and the skins, and they can it.
Yep.
I read that the
Now,
skin is where there's the most bacteria, so I don't know. So I've always passed it through my machine to remove the skins. The seeds, like sometimes I have a couple, but I don't know about the skins. Do
yeah,
you?
for me, I did not know because I just blended all the skins last year because I'm like, oh, so gore. I won't have to take the skins off. I'll just blend them all up. Did not know that the skins for a lot of people can cause the acid reflux. That's
Yes.
where the heartburn comes from. Well, my
Yeah.
husband and I are two of those people who cannot eat the
Oh
skins, and I never
no.
knew that. I never had a problem, but a lot of things I can't eat the same way I used to because of chemo kind of messed
Messed
up
it up.
your system. So I made like pizza sauce, and we were literally at 9 o'clock at night. Like I was in tears crying
Oh
because the pain.
no.
I thought I was having like some kind of esophagus attack or something. And then when he started complaining, I'm like, what is going on? We it's not like it's spicy. Like, why is this hurting us? So I did more investigating and come to find out it's the skins. So I'm not leaving the skins on anything this year.
Oh.
Nothing. Like I literally had to throw out all my salsas I made last year because I left all the skins on and I couldn't eat it. It was absolutely
Heartbreaking.
useless. Oh, I was like literally almost in tears dumping it. I'm like, no.
Oh God. I'm
You
gonna
gotta be
catch up on
kidding.
comment because we're quite
Yeah.
late. There's nothing wrong into I can't remember the video without a song without no there's nothing wrong.
Nope.
I do it because I have no choice or I won't be able to film. It's just sometimes I feel that the viewers want to see my face and they want to hear me and see me talk and have interaction, but that's personal preference. But my voice, na 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 na. Okay, that's not for me. Yeah, I was like that last year when we did our sighting. I was sure I was having it, but then it turned out okay.
Oh, I love it.
Hello, Macy.
And
You'll,
even the workers were shocked. They even said it came out better than they even thought it would. Like they were really impressed. I'm like, well, that's good when the people doing it are really happy too.
of course, you'll need another shelf just for the ripening. Yeah, well, I have like my kitchen is being on hold. Kitchen renovation is being on hold for like a year and a half now. And I had like a Costco shelving that all my small appliances were there. So I kind of tucked in my small appliances I don't normally use during the summer in my kitchen island. I stacked it there and I'm using 2 shelves for drying onions, peach are ripening and tomatoes are ripening. So I'm doing what I can with the space that I have and it's chaos. I'm freezing all my tomatoes and doing yeah, that's what she said earlier. I have to go buy the lids and maybe some jars. Well, if you guys need some lids,
Yes.
I'll let Lynn talk about lids later on because she is now an
Yes.
official. It's affiliate, right?
Affiliate. Yeah.
With a lid company for the canning jars. Hello, Ecocentric Homestead. No sound. Can you guys hear me? Because
Yeah, I think it was just them because they said it works fine later on. So
okay, let's see if my memory is good. His Ecocentric Homestead, is your name Joham? Am I saying it right? I practice.
memory's better than mine.
Oh God, like I have such a hard time. I had to close the video. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to get my freezer to the homestead soon. My new batteries are doing awesome. So that means you'll have your freezer on your property. That'd be nice.
Property. Yep. He won't have to tiptoe into his I think it's his nephew is where he had it.
I think so. I think so. Remy, cool. Tracy, I'm looking for another freezer too since my 2 freezers. Yes. Yeah. I have a stand-up freezer. I have a chest commercial size freezer, and I have my 2 freezers of my fridge. And I have a tiny, tiny, tiny chest freezer. That's like my emergency in case I need space.
I have a chest freezer, which is a good size. I have 2 standing deep freezers and 1 skinny standing freezer that we got for like $60 on Walmart online last summer. And I see now why it was $60 because it was so small, but it's perfect for like all my frozen fruit. Like I can keep
nice.
all my frozen fruit in there. So I know that's just what's in. Well, right now it's an absolute mess, but that's what it will be in a couple of weeks. And then we have our giant freezer in the house with our fridge. We have the freezer on the bottom style fridge, and that holds a lot. So, and we're full, and it's a good, and I'm grateful. Like it's a good thing to say they're full, right? Like, I mean,
it is grateful. If I could, I would love to find another commercial chest freezer that can sustain being outside during the winter, and I would put it in the chicken coop. Like my overstock, like my tomatoes could go there. My peppers could go there. Or like I would have like a rotation of I would only keep so much amount in the house, and then my overstock could go in the coop. But when it's minus 30 outside, some old freezers will work, but the newer models don't work. My stand-up freezer, when I left it in the garage, it thawed out because it does not like to be like.
That's where ours are, is in our garage. We haven't had any problems with it.
Well, maybe because it's an old thing, and it's like acting up and needs love. But like I would love to have a commercial size chest freezer in the coop, and I would have like overstock there because I don't have space no more in the house.
I'm like, what I would love to have is a small refrigerator that I could keep like apples and stuff in out in the garage so they last longer, because we do a lot of apple picking in the fall, and eventually I hope my apple trees are going to start producing. That's the one thing I might look for, is just an old secondhand like refrigerator just to keep the fruits and stuff in, the overstock of the fruits. And I just want to say the immersion blender, it's a KitchenAid immersion blender, so it's like, you know, one of the best. And when I went and looked it up, it did say if the things you're trying to blend are too hot, the motor will sense it and it will shut off. And I'm like, well, that's just great.
Well, okay, if I'm like thinking about it, it's kind of good that's when it's too hot it turns off, because when it explodes, you can get burned in the face. So it's good. Like I understand.
I've had that happen where it's come up and burned me.
So I think that's the like think process behind it, which is good.
I'm sure. I mean, it's just whenever you see everybody on the YouTube videos doing them, right, they never have their thing stop. They're like doing it, and I'm like, editing.
Yep. There's many things that we cut out. Because there's things that like, or when I do an epic mess, I film myself and it explodes. And I have some all over the place.
It's typical of me, like I say in my videos. Well, it wouldn't be me if I didn't make a mess doing something today. So
Yay, I said it right. Yay.
I think it Johan. Maybe that's how you say it. You said Johan. How did you say it?
Joan. But he said, as a French person, I am French, so I'm half excused. Anyone want to share what's happening this week? Or if you guys want to jump in on the Q&A right away, because I know pantry is like a very hot topic right now. People are canning, preserving, either buying bulk or like produce coming out of the garden or the market garden.
You know, we did a bit of a small haul when we took my mom back to the airport 2 weeks ago. Because she flies out of the States. So we went over and cheese. I stocked up on cheese because cheese is so much cheaper there.
You didn't have any issue bringing it over?
No. We were there for 24 hours. We stayed for 24, so we could claim. You're allowed to claim $250 each if you're there for 24 hours. So, and we didn't have cigarettes.
They have no problem you crossing the border with dairy products.
Nope. that was okay. You can't bring anything with seeds, and some meat products you can't bring over right now.
Like charcuteries, I'm guessing.
I think so. We didn't get that kind of stuff. So, because I grew up in the States and I don't like the meat from the States. So, I'm probably going to get kicked out, lose my American citizenship, but it's true. I'm not a big fan of a lot of the meats. When I first got married, I would say to my husband, something's wrong with this chicken. It doesn't taste right. What's wrong? Well, come to find out, it wasn't full of chemicals and water and everything that they put in it. But anyway, and we went to Aldi for the first time. We've never gone to an Aldi grocery store. It's 80% organic, I guess you'd say. They still have non-organic things, and they had cheese there. I kid you not, $2 a package. Even in Canadian money, that was only like $2.80.
So, you mean 1 pound?
Like you know how you get your sliced cheese, like cheddar cheese, mozzarella cheese, Swiss cheese, and slices.
Yeah.
And it was hormone free, no growth hormone, no antibiotics, nothing. It was $2 American a package. So we bought, I can't remember, I want to say 4 packages of each kind and put it in the freezer because we eat a lot of cheese in this house. Like we eat a lot of cheese.
It's like that meme that says, put it in the truck, put it in the truck.
Yes, yeah. And then they had the blocks, like the big blocks of cheese, especially mozzarella, because we have homemade pizza every Friday night. If not Friday, somewhere we have pizza.
I do the same.
And we bought, that was, I think, was that $3, David? I think that was $3 American a block. And I'm like, when I'm doing the conversion, and I'm like, that's like $5-6 cheaper, even in Canadian money. So we bought a few of them, and yeah, I was just like, but like my mom was saying, it's funny because they were high, like their prices. Some things were not worth it. Their peanut butter was insane. It's cheaper to buy peanut butter here. Like I was shocked at how expensive peanut butter was at Walmart. But we were in New York, and sorry,
is Kraft Canadian? Is Kraft a Canadian?
No, it was Jif, which is the brand I grew up with. Which I usually eat the organic, but the boys, my husband and son, like the Kraft or whatever. It was $7.83 for a small jar of Jif at Walmart, and we get the great big thing of Kraft at Costco for $7.99 Canadian.
Okay. So, well, it's always like that. You'll find deals. You
really got to make sure you know. Like I knew what prices I pay for most things all the time, but New York tends to be a little bit more expensive. So like, my mother was saying how this would be cheaper in Florida. Like some of these prices would have been better in Florida.
Oh, okay.
So I did that. So because my plan is I'm trying to start my own pantry challenge starting next month, where I'm not, other than milk, couple little things like that, because our son like drinks a whole cow's worth of milk a day. So I'm going to try, because we have some kitchen renovations we're trying to finish. Finally, we want to get our floors finished all downstairs. So I'm trying not to buy any groceries for a couple of months so I can put that money back into some renos. So my pantries right now are very full because I've been working on this all summer.
Nice. So, I think there's another pantry challenge soon.
Yeah, I think the one that I seen a lot of people are doing in October, it's 50, you're allowed to spend no more than $50 a month. But I have kids. If I didn't have my 2 picky children, I could do that. My husband and I could totally do that challenge. We really could. But I have one child with dietary issues, and I have one child who has, I'm going to say, her issues are her choice. Like she doesn't eat a lot of meat, and she doesn't eat a lot of dairy. A lot of dairy is because of her health issues. But yeah, I totally could do that $50 challenge if it was.
And it's 50 American or 50 Canadian?
I think it's Canadian, because I think it's a Canadian channel that's doing it.
I don't think I would be able to do $50 because like
for the whole month. I mean, geez, milk alone, I
buy two butters. That will last me maybe 3 weeks, 2 weeks. We normally eat like a block of butter maybe every 10 days. And then bread, it's 5 breads every 2 weeks. And it's now $6 for 2 breads. Cereal, milk, cheese, snacks for school. I don't think I would be able to do it. Like, yeah, I would have to like make magic. Or we can create our own.
Yeah, I mean, there was a time where like granola bars, all that, I made all that for my kids for school. Like I would on Sundays, I'd do a great big prep and I'd make a lot of their snacks for school. But
Mm-hmm.
then as they got older, they started getting even pickier about what they liked.
Yeah, I have a
And
picky eater, so it is challenging.
yeah. So that was hard. So but I've changed how I do my shopping now too. We used to do a major shop at the beginning of the month and then
Mm-hmm.
just do a little fill in here and there, like if we needed bread again or milk or kind of thing like that. But the prices, like every 2 weeks, they're different. So
Mm-hmm.
now we're back to shopping a lot with flyers. And if I see something on sale, like the other day, boxes of pasta. I actually got those in the States too because they were 90 cents a box.
Nice.
And I'm like, are you kidding? And I can't even find macaroni around here right now. It's weird. It's like I can find every kind of noodle, but
That's weird.
macaroni. I don't know what's going on. So I bought like 10 boxes because we go through a lot of macaroni noodles in the winter with different
Yeah.
dishes, a lot. So yeah, I bought them. And kidney beans were on sale at our Walmart 2 weeks ago for 95 cents a can. No
Yes.
salt added ones. And I'm like, well, I'm grabbing 8 of them
Yeah.
because at 95 cents a can. And we eat a lot of, chilies and stews and soups that I put beans in the winter. So,
And I think by canning your own, I think that's what it comes up to, like 80
yeah.
cents, 90
Yep.
cents.
And I knew I didn't grow enough this year to like, I got 4 jars yesterday that I canned myself, but I grew kidney beans this year.
Nice. I did too.
I can't get over that. I'm just so impressed. I'm like, I can't believe I grew kidney beans.
I think I will have the equivalence of a cup and a half of light kidney beans, 3/4 cups of navy beans, and I have Kennedy yellow-eyed beans. I think I'm gonna have also 3/4 cups,
Okay.
maybe a cup, and black turtle beans probably 2 cups.
Black turtle beans I could not get. They were sold out everywhere when I tried to get them. So I'm going to order them earlier next year to try them. I'm definitely going to do kidney beans again. They were one of the easiest things to grow. Like literally
dry
nothing.
beans and like pinto beans and all those things, regardless if they're bush or pole, they're super easy.
So I definitely will do more.
Next year I'm adding to my dry like not beans but peas. I found yellow pea soups that you just let the pea dry on the vine and they're yellow. So I'm crossing my fingers that they're gonna get back in stock.
Yeah, I know. It took me three different places to get garlic. I ordered some garlic because I don't want to replant all my garlic because I know I'm going to eat most of it.
Yeah.
So I had to go to 3 different places before I finally found some that I could order. Like they are sold out everywhere.
They were sold. My dad places his order even before they pop out of the ground because he does not want to get caught with his pants down because he grows 1,400 bulbs.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So I bulk order with him because he can get, like, since he's ordering a lot.
Yep.
I benefit from his price.
Yep.
And I buy half of what I need, and then the other half I choose from my bulbs that I have this year. A few years ago,
myself and another friend, or 2 other friends, actually they were clients of my daycare. We all went in together and ordered all of our seeds in bigger quantities and we all said what we liked. And luckily we almost liked everything. And then it was neat to see a couple of things each other person had. I'm like, oh yeah, we'll try those. And we went all in and we just divided it equally between the 3 of us. And I was thinking, we should really maybe try and think about doing that with a bunch of us. It might end up being cheaper.
Last year I did a seed swap with 5 people.
Yep.
And I did like a live camera with a messenger, and I was asking them what was their I need list, and then I checked my list, and like whatever they wanted that I had in extra quantities, I sent them what they needed, and then I gave them my list of what I needed, and then they sent me what I needed. And sometimes they send me seeds that they saved. I did one with Remy, Angie from Me and You Acres. We were 5. And
Yeah,
we
I think I've
just
never seen a few
swapped.
videos where you guys did them. So
Yeah.
we'll have to see if we can make it even bigger for
Yeah.
next year.
And like, I'm like, okay, I would like to try this, but I don't want to spend $3 for it. So like, Annie sent me like 5 seeds of something, and I don't have to purchase it. And same thing, she wanted to try, I can't remember, it was a variety of tomato that I had. I just sent her like 5 or 6 seeds so she can try it out. And like, the postal is not very expensive.
Right, for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Or I remember
I wouldn't have bought the ground cherries if I was able to have actually the ones I'm growing is the plant I bought at the conference, because my seeds all died, but I think I still have a whole packet that I never even opened. Okay. I'll probably be sharing the wealth with those next year because I won't be growing them again.
You don't like it?
They're okay. I don't like them enough for them to take up as much room as they have in my garden. Like they
do take a lot of space.
I had no idea I was growing a tree.
I'll catch up on comments.
Yep.
So Tracy went camping with the grandson, 6-year-old, last night with the Cub Scout. Had a blast. Annie is saying canning, and freezing. I'm also preparing things for school.
Yeah, your school goes in this week?
Tuesday.
Oh, wow. We have a week from Tuesday here.
What? Okay, so this is a question.
Okay.
What would you say
the friend
to a chicken friend to get that friend started on pressure canning?
He's asking for a friend, right?
Yeah, for a friend.
Oh, I will say the first thing I did was broth. No, sorry. The first thing I did was potatoes, and they failed because I did them wrong. So if the first thing, honestly, if you want to just practice and not waste anything, water. Pressure can. I know it sounds crazy, and I actually did it last night because I didn't have enough jars of my kidney beans to fill my pressure canner. Water, and that way it helps you learn your pressure canner. Helps you learn, like now, I can't believe I'm saying this, but like yesterday, I can totally go by sound now on my jiggler. Yeah. Like, did you ever think you'd be saying that, Annie? Like, oh my, like,
no.
And I'm telling you, I am so mad. I waited so long to pressure can. Like, I'm so angry at myself. It's like, bad, Lynn. I should have done it sooner because it is scary, but I'm so mad. But water's a good way to start.
I had someone come over 2 weeks ago. They came here. They asked me all sorts of questions. And then they're like, oh, we would like to pressure can. So I gave them the link where I got my pressure canner. And they have the exact same one I do, which is the Presto with the Dankson lady on it.
Yep, that's what I have.
They called me tonight, like 15 minutes before the live. I'm canning right now, and I have no idea what I'm doing. And I could hear in the background the noise. I'm like, well, he's I'm not hearing the noise of the jiggler going, so you're not there yet. And then we started talking, and I'm like, oh, wait, it's starting right now. And I was over the phone. So I kind of recognized the key noise of, the jiggler started dancing. So just pay attention to it. Then you'll be able to start your timer. But like, they're calling someone that's been only pressure canning for what? May, June, July.
Yeah, I started in January.
You have a little bit more than me.
Yeah, but they, I am so, it's not as hard as you think, and it can be scary. And if you don't want to waste product, I'm serious. And you can keep that water for an emergency, or you just dump it out like I did and just do it again. It's a great way to know. And then the next thing, if you want to do it, broth, because that's the easiest. It really is, because you're not worrying about meat or vegetables or anything. You're just worrying about the liquid, and then working your way up. Green beans actually is pretty easy too. I did those for the first time because they don't take as long. You don't have to process them nearly as long as some things. No. Kidney beans took 75 minutes yesterday. Mm-hmm. I was like, good grief.
Yeah, that is long. Beans is long.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's what I would say. And then the thing I tell your friend Remy is just pull the trigger and try it.
Yes. Just do it. Aldi
Do
is
it.
awesome and used to be great prices, but they are going up. Well, everything's going up.
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm hearing. Yeah, that's why a lot of people said that they used to be a lot.
I tried to give up cheese to save money. Not happening.
Nope.
I can't do
Nope.
that here. It's
Yeah.
pizza night every Friday night, and I'm doing me and Annie from Mama Homemade like to help us out because we're on the same busy schedule. We have we're gonna have Taco Tuesdays and like pizzas on Friday.
Yep.
So on Tuesdays it's gonna be a Mexican dish, so it's gonna
Yep.
be easier
Yep.
to like manage. So 2 nights we have like pre-organized stuff. So that means we have to pressure can a Mexican dish for at
Okay.
least the
Yep.
next 40-ish weeks. That's going to be
Yeah.
a challenge.
I know. I never get over these people who are like, you have the same thing every Tuesday and Friday. We love it. So what's like? Why do people always think you have to have a different dish 30 days out of the month? Like,
Oh
that's
God,
not how I grew up.
that's not how I grew up. And it's fun. Like the kids ask for the pizza nights now. And when
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was out of pizza and I had to like improvise. But
I
at
can't
one
even.
point,
When was the last time I can't even remember the last time we had. It's been well over 2 years since we've had takeout pizza
I
because
don't.
my family won't go. And my mom was here. We had pizza every Friday because if I didn't, she would have had to fit. So yeah, and it makes it easier, especially when you're a busy mom. Okay, at least 2 nights a week, I know exactly what I'm making, so I know what I have to have.
Yeah, well, it actually makes it easier for 3 meals because I make bigger meals.
Yep,
So the Tuesday will practically, like, I'm going to either mix it up with something else
yep,
and make a new meal or just simply redo the same meal
yep,
like down the road. Or since I'm home during the day, they're my lunches. So,
yep. And yeah, I was gonna say my husband. I usually make it. And we have it for lunch the next day, so there's a lunch done too, so I don't have to
yeah.
worry about what we're eating for lunch.
Okay, so let me catch up on comments because we're
Okay.
a bit behind. Yes, Marilyn, but we eat once a week. They don't last long. Okay, that's not at all. I'll be the first to tell you New York sucks. Okay, we're not gonna go down that rabbit hole. Yeah, it's what we
In
eat
winter.
in the winter, one per week,
Oh,
a
the
bit
rabbit.
less than okay, yeah. Remy, tell him if he doesn't want to use it, he can send it to me.
You're talking about the pressure canner.
Yeah. Well, it's 50 for couples, 25 for children. Not sure.
For that challenge. That's
Oh,
coming up. Okay.
right.
Oh, so
Okay.
technically I could have 100 a month. Oh.
I could. I would have to really, really, really be good.
Yeah.
When here, if my husband eats 4 slices of bread on one day and then 4 slices of bread on Sunday, and like there's nights I don't do desserts, so he's gonna take out homemade strawberry jam or any jams I made. He's gonna eat at least. So I would say 3/4 of a loaf of bread can be gone within a
Oh
day.
yeah. Yeah. Now I make a lot of my bread once the colder weather comes.
Mm-hmm.
I've kind of gotten out of it a bit. The only thing bad about homemade bread is that because it's not full of preservatives, if you don't eat it like within a few days, it's gone. Like
Do you like croutons?
yeah, I do freeze it because I use it for stuffing for when I make a turkey or something.
Yeah, or you can
So
do croutons, the
yeah,
croutons for your Caesar
salads.
salads.
Yeah.
You can put that's what I do with my stale bread. I do a pantry challenge in October. I allow myself to buy milk and cereals. Okay, I've never done a pantry challenge.
I did it. The first one I did it this January. I did do one, and it was and I've been thinking about that as I've been canning. I've been thinking about January because the same lady who does the
Three Rivers Homestead.
She does the pantry challenge. Now she does it for January and February, and her family, and they don't buy. The only exception she makes is there's some birthdays in those months for her with her children. Yeah. So if she doesn't have what they want for their birthday, then they'll make the exception and buy whatever they need.
Yeah, but they have like a dairy
allergy. Yeah. So they usually end up asking for like it might be some a couple ingredients she needs to make the dinner, and she'll have to go buy them because she's out or something. But yeah.
Well, I remember that challenge is flexible. You impose your own rules. So if you
Rules,
want to add
exactly.
yourself a budget
Yeah.
every month, you can.
Yep.
So I'm
Yep.
probably
And
going
that's
to
what
do
we
that
did.
one.
Yeah, we allowed ourselves 25 a week to pay
Because
for the milk.
if I do 50 for a couple, and then that would give me 125 per month. I would have to see. I would have to see
Yeah.
if I can make it work.
Yeah. I mean,
Because
nobody's going to come and arrest you if you go over your budget.
yeah, obviously, but
But yeah, and I am one of the things I'm going to try making in the next couple of weeks is my own yogurt. I can't believe how easy it seems. I hope it's as easy as it looks because I love Greek yogurt and the price of that has gone sky high.
It's ridiculous.
And that's non-organic too. That's not even the organic anymore. And I'm going to try making Gracie's almond milk yogurt myself too because she loves that. And it's getting harder to find. Like I stocked up on quite a bit when I went to the States I like literally brought home like 40 containers of almond because it was so cheap and they had all kinds. She was like, and it's only about a month's worth, maybe might get 40 days if she doesn't have one every day. So
I make my yogurt with my Instant Pot.
Yes, that's why I bought an Instapot was to try yogurt. I've had the Instapot 4 years, haven't done yogurt yet.
We couldn't do the $50 challenge even with the extra 25 allowed. We tracked our dairy products for 1 month and we spent. It's true.
So that would be 50 and then another 50, 100. I would just say go for 150 for a budget, and yeah, you're still going to be $8 short, but really like if you have to go a couple of days without some cheese or something, like just set your own limit.
I think if I would do the October, I would, even though if I go over budget, I would be transparent about it, saying like it was not possible for me.
Because not everybody can do this. I mean, it's just.
The dairy will be the big challenge. Yeah. We spend more than $50 a week on milk.
We need a cow. I'm just saying.
Sharing. We should have like a shared cow homesteader community thing going on. I have to order 20 kilos of flowers at my last. Yes, I have to order also. I have to go pick up my 40 kilos of flour for the winter.
Yeah, I've been picking up my organic flour. My freezers are full right now of flour because I heard that it's going to be because of Ukraine, because that's where we get a lot. It's going to be very expensive and maybe even hard to find. But what's funny is our local farmers here, a lot, and I mean a lot, like in our little area that used to grow corn, they all grew wheat this year. There was wheat everywhere this summer here, everywhere. And we've never seen them. And they would have signs up saying, this field is growing wheat. What can you do with wheat? And then they would list all the things that you make with wheat. And I looked at my husband and I said, I wonder if they're doing that. And I hope it's going to stay here. Like, I hope it's going to at least stay in the province, if not right in our community, because that would be wonderful to get wheat from our local farmers. But I'm wondering if that's what made me nervous. When I started seeing all them growing wheat, I'm like, yeah, I might.
I'm actually, on topic about Pantry, I just went to Costco and I got 2 big bags of organic brown sugar. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to go back in 2 weeks because that's when I'm due to do, like I stock up on snacks for school.
Yeah.
Because like when you buy in bulk, it's cheaper.
Yeah,
I'm actually going to buy 2 more sugars because I also heard that sugar will be an issue this winter, especially cane sugar. So I'm like, okay, so I'm going to get 4.
Me too.
But I am privileged in my village. There's a mill for flour.
Oh, wow.
So all I have to do is call, make an order, and they're going to call me back to let me know when it's ready.
Now, do you find the price is comparable to what you would pay?
La Milanese organic flour is going to be the cheapest for me, and that one is available at Costco.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. That's the one I buy at Costco.
Let's just say that Costco no longer has it. The price point is just a little bit more expensive. And then let's just say they don't have it anymore. I have another certified, this one's not certified, organic mill That's $45 per 20 kilos of flour. So it is
Okay.
expensive, but I
Yeah.
have options.
Yeah. Okay. I will say that it's going to this is going to sound crazy, but that organic yogurt or organic flour you were talking about, because I used to get it at Costco and I couldn't get it at Costco the last couple of times we went. And I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, I wonder if Amazon sells it. Our Costco has got an Amazon store. I did not know that.
Really?
I ordered the flour on Amazon, but it was fulfilled by Costco.
Oh, we don't have
Yeah.
access to that here.
Oh, you don't? Oh,
No,
shoot.
it's the Kirkland brand, and every Costco product is way more expensive for us on Amazon than
Oh no, this was the La Maze,
La
whatever you just said.
Milanaise.
Yeah, yep. It was that brand. I was shocked, and I'm like, wow. So I got two, and I just put them in the freezer. So I think I'm good for flour for the winter.
The bags that are open, I normally keep them on the shelf. But if I'm to order, like if I'm up to have 40 kilos, I'm gonna have to figure out a way to store it because it's gonna have to last me till next summer. In
Right.
like normally an open bag can be like 4 or 5 months.
Do you have freezer space? Because if you can get it into containers and freeze it, it will last months.
I wanted to put Mylar bags,
Yes. Yep. Mylar. Yep.
Mylar bags, and
Yep.
then like top it on top of my freezers,
Yep.
or that machine that sucks the air out. What do you call it?
Oh, the food saver.
Yeah, I just got that.
Yep.
Okay, I am so late on comment. So sorry. I've been working on growing beans, doing well, going to try 3 beds worth. Nice. Beans are a staple to have in your pantry for sure. I probably will never grow here in my location enough dry beans to be sufficient for a year.
Yeah. For a year, maybe a winter, but I don't think I could get a year's worth.
No. This year I bought a Super C, that's a grocery store here, had 11 pounds for very cheap of turtle beans. I just bought it.
Yeah.
It's probably going to last me 2 years.
Awesome.
I'm going to can half of it, can everything I have in the garden, and then store in bags the rest so they don't catch like either bugs or THC or whatever.
Yeah.
I would love to can more veggies, but we don't like it, so need my freezer for that. I want to can juice this year. Juice is a good thing.
I've done cranberry juice.
Yeah. I did sweet tea and lemonade this year.
Yep. I'm gonna try apple juice this year. Canning it.
Oh no, I used to do apple juice, but like I never can enough, so it's like a treat.
Yeah.
If anyone wants cucamelon seeds, email. I love cucamelons. I can like go in the garden and snack on them. Just got carried away.
Oh, that's
Morning
okay,
wood. I hope you're feeling better, Patrick. Did you put it in your pantry or in your canner? Hi, Patrick. Hi, Macy. Okay, that's not for me. I have no idea what you love, but I'm that's great.
I'm trying to remember what we were talking about.
Sorry, that's what happens when you're behind in comments. Pizza night is a definite anticipated day here, usually on Friday. Okay, so I'm not the only one that does pizza night on Friday night. I actually converted Annie from Mama Homemade to start the pizza night on Friday. She actually does sometimes sourdough pizza.
Yeah, it's funny. When I was growing up, pizza night at my house with my parents was always on Sunday because football was on Sunday.
So whatever works.
So it was always pizza, until we got to teenagers, and then usually Friday night was the night we'd all go down to the pizza place. But yeah, I think almost every household has a pizza night.
So it's pizza night, and for the adults, there's an adult drink. And for the kids, sometimes I have like this sweet tea made or like a juice that I bought. And there's a movie night, so we eat and watch a movie at the same time. So it's a cute and fun night. I started it during COVID because like we needed something to do. My boyfriend grew up on pizza night. He's still asking me once in a while for Friday pizza night. Do it. It's so fun. Like homemade pizza always tastes better.
Oh,
Have
so
a nice
good.
evening, Macy. You're probably gone. Thanks for passing by. I freeze my bread. If thawed slowly, it's perfectly fine.
When I make my homemade bread, I'm thinking about halving it and freezing half and leaving half out.
Yeah.
And then I'll see how quick we go through it. So, yeah.
I have yet found my slicing bread. It's the only recipe that I don't have here because every other bread, like bagel, baguettes, French bread.
I got a good one. It's a Mennonite recipe for sliced sandwich bread, and it is fabulous.
It's not sourdough; it's regular yeast bread.
It's just regular, yeah. Regular yeast bread. Yeah, I'll send it to you.
It is easy, Lynn, to do yogurt. I have one in the oven right now. I used to do it in the oven. This is a funny story. Okay, saving. This is actually a good thing. Pantry related. Doing your own yogurt saves you money on a long run for sure, and you can control the ingredients that goes in. So if you don't want any sugar, there's no sugar. If you want organic, you can get organic milk. If you want, and you only buy your starter once. I used to do it in the oven, and in the morning when I would get up, the lights of the oven would always be closed because my husband woke up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. He's like, "Oh, my wife forgot the light of the oven." So he would close it every single time I used to make my yogurt. So I'm like, "You little ...
Any other time you wouldn't close it.
Yeah, so I made like a little yogurt sign, like don't close the light, yogurt's in the oven. And like I would stick it on the oven, and then one day I like came downstairs and I called my husband. I'm like, "You turned off the light, you little shit." And he's like, "No, I didn't. My light burnt." So I saw on Boreal Homesteading, Danielle, she did it in her Instant Pot. And I'm like, that's marvelous. Like no one's gonna play around with my lights, and I won't have to stress that the lights open or closed or anyone playing with the stove. So now I do it in my Instant Pot, and I can control the amount of hours that it ferments. So if I want 8 hours,
crock pot too. You can do it in the crock pot too.
Yeah. But what I enjoy about the Instant Pot is the 8 hours, it's the less fermented yogurt. So it does not have that tang that I used to have when I did it like at 9 o'clock at night. And then I would wake up the next morning and it would be fermented for like at least 10, 12 hours. So the kids did not enjoy that one. But the one I did in the Instant Pot, they really enjoyed it.
Okay. I am going to try it because like you said, I can buy a small thing of organic milk. Yeah. And it will cost me a bit, but I'll get how much yogurt out of that little container of milk, and I can have my own. And I don't get the yogurt with sugar. I flavor my plain yogurt with my homemade jams and stuff.
Yeah.
So I can
That's what when I used to have time, I used to do water, kefir, yogurt, and I can't remember, a sourdough like 2-3 times a week. But now I can't do it. So I have to buy yogurt like 3-4 containers a week. Dairy is something you can't stock up on. If we drop the dairy from the challenge, it would be easy.
I will say I freeze my Greek yogurt because I buy it from Costco, and it freezes great. Like I've not have a problem. You just have to stir it up a little bit when it thaws out, but it does freeze. But milk and stuff, I've never had any luck freezing that.
A friend of mine, his mother used to freeze milk. I never tasted it, but she bought like 3-4, those 3 bags of milk, the 4 liters. She would freeze those. I freeze my butter.
Oh yeah, me too.
Cream for coffee. Okay, I know that everyone's gonna go, "Oh, cream's expensive," but if I want coffee in the morning, I cannot take it with milk. It has to be cream.
I like cream in my tea.
Yeah, so I know I could that's a splurge, but I
think the higher the fat content, the better it will freeze. Like if you're doing whole milk or cream, but if you do like 2%,
it makes sense. It does make sense.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's accurate, but it does make sense. Squash.
And hi, Dana.
That button followed. Thank you.
Oh, your flour. I bet you that's what she was talking about.
Put some in. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so before I lose track and I have to be like, I can't go past like
Yep.
7:30 because like I want to put my kids to bed. School starts Tuesday and I want
Yep.
this to be like a regular night.
Yep.
I would like you to talk about your lids.
Oh, okay. I am a affiliate now with 4 Jars Lids. I love these lids. Like, I have fallen in love with these lids. I have canned over 100 things so far with these lids and had not one failure. Not one. They feel, I just don't know how to explain it. They feel thicker. Like the metal is much thicker, and the silicone around your lid, you can literally see and feel the difference if you put them next to like a Ball or a Bernadine lid. It's a
Mm-hmm.
thicker silicone. And when you go to pop them, man, do they seal. Like, you're like, gee, like you can hear that when you pop it. So I reached out to them and they've made me an affiliate. So if you go to 4jarslids. I think it's 4jarslids.ca or 4jarslids.com, either one, and put in bucket list homestead and the coupon code, you'll get 10% off when you order them. And they have them in regular size lids and wide mouth. And they are made in the USA. I mean, it'd be great if they were made in Canada, but I'm
Of
happy
course.
they're, yeah. And they're from a family that immigrated to the United States from Ukraine. I think like the children that are running the company too. I say children, they're in their 20s and 30s. They're first generation, but their parents are Ukrainian, right from Ukraine. And they are a canning family. They have a ranch in Florida. Their factory is actually less than a 10-minute drive from where my parents live in Florida. So if
Nice.
we get to Florida in March to see my parents for March break, we're actually going to go to the factory.
Nice. Do
So
you
anyway,
have your phone with you right now?
yeah, yes.
Send me your affiliate link. I'll
Okay.
go and I will add it here.
Let's see if I can get it here.
And we still have time if you want to ask questions. I know we're just chit chatting, but if you have specific questions and you need an answer, you can ask them now. So Marilyn says, I would say it's around 1 milk for 1 yogurt. Now I'm doing oat yogurt, so it's 1 oat and 5 water and have about 12 soups ladle. Okay. Oh, wait, I think
Oh,
someone,
Mary Lynn just put it up. Yep.
is that the right one?
And I'm going to send, hold on, Mary Lynn. I can actually send it to you. I just sent it to, I
Okay,
think
so
even if you just go even to 4 jars, because I tried it, and when you go to pay, it'll ask if you have a coupon code, and you can just put it in. But just in case, I'll give you the.
I just copied and pasted the link you just sent
Yeah.
me.
Okay. Okay, perfect. But they have a ranch and they're a big canning family. Like they said, they've all, and during lockdown where no one could get lids, like they couldn't get lids either. And there's been a lot of fraudulent lids going around that say they're made by somebody, and then people are having all these failures because they're actually what's the word I'm looking for? My brain's not thinking. Oh, it'll come to me in a minute. I'm trying to think. This is my stupid chemo brain. I cannot think of the word.
No, it's not that.
They're fake. They look like them. They even have their name on them. Even
Oh,
4
you mean
jars.
lookalikes?
Yeah. Even 4 jars has got counterfeit. That's the word. Counterfeit. Even 4
Lookalike
jars
is close enough.
Even 4 jars has got people out there that are trying to make it look like they're theirs, and they're not. They'll be a little bit different in the spelling or something, but there's been so many failures, and they said, okay, this is nuts. We can't get lids. What are we going to do? We'll make our own. And then before they knew it, they were handing them out to their friends and family who needed lids too. And they said, we should start a company. There's a need for these. And that's how it started. So lovely people. Lovely.
I compared their price of their lids to the lids of I would normally buy at Walmart. They're very competitive.
Yep.
And well, this year I was a little rebel. I never do this. I bought 2 boxes at the Bernadine
Mm-hmm.
at the dollar store.
Me too. I bought tons of them.
And I was very skeptic.
Me too.
But I had 0 failures.
Yeah, I haven't had any either. Because at first I thought, oh, what are these? Are those counterfeit ones? And they've gotten a
But
whole bunch of them,
well, you
right?
see,
Like,
I think I know what it is. Some boxes have 11 lids. Some boxes have 13 lids.
oh, okay. I didn't even count. I just open them and dump them out and
Because
go about.
there's
But
one day that I was like, okay, so I need 6 lids, la 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 la, and then like I knew that no, it was 7 lids, so I knew there was 5 lids left.
left, right?
So and then I have one left. So I'm like, that makes 13. So I open another box, there was 11 in it. I open another box, there was 13 in it. So
Okay.
I think it's just
It's like seconds,
quality.
like they couldn't sell like quality control and they had to, like, they
I
probably
think
sold
it's
them off
that
at a
because
cheap price.
up
Yeah.
till this point, I canned 373 jars. Like from the first day I started canning
Yep.
this year
Yep.
with my chicken broth, my first recipe of chicken broth, all the way down till
Yep.
yesterday, 373. And I had 4 jars or 5 jars not sealed. And then 3 of them was wide mouth jars.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That when I used to buy my jars used because before COVID, people did not sell their jars $1 a jar. They used to sell them 20 cents a jar, 30 cents a jar, and I would buy 100 at a time.
Hundreds of
And
them. Yep.
once I brought them back home, I realized some of them had lids, and I was cleaning out all my lids and all my supplies this year, and I found that box, and I used that box, and I think the
Yep.
seal was like very, very old. So
British.
those 2
Yeah.
3 jars is that. And then
Yeah.
when you buy new jars, there's this golden seal that comes with it.
Yeah.
I had 2 failures with those. So I had
Yeah.
0 failures with the one from the Dollarama. So
I will say, I bought some jars at Canadian Tire called Golden Harvest.
yes.
And they were a lot more reasonable. I have had, out of every darn case, whether it's the small jars, the bigger jars, I've had at least one jar break open on me in the canner. Pressure canner, water bath canner, like I go in there and I'll pull it out and I'm like, what? And you can see where perfectly, like if you could put it back together, you could never tell where it broke. They're like, and I'm like, so I'm not buying them anymore. I've literally and there's nothing worse than seeing all your ingredients swimming around in the
jar
water.
that cracks.
The jars broke, and those were I'm not recommending them at all. And it's been every size jar, and it's been every case that I bought has had at least
cases
one
that you bought
failure.
this year.
Last summer, last fall.
Well,
so
they were in a crunch.
They're cheaper than Bernardine and Ball by a couple dollars a case, so that's kind of reason why I got them. So
1 liter jars. Last year I bought the Golden Harvest. I didn't have any issues, but I did have some chip. They chip easier, so I wonder if they didn't go lower in quality of glass.
And when I started feeling, I'm like, yeah, they don't feel as heavy. The jar, like I think they're a thinner glass. So I have 2 cases I haven't even opened yet, and I'm like, man, I'm really nervous to use you.
Well, you can just use those for dehydrated goods.
Yeah, that's I think I'm going to use them for storage. I really am. I'm too scared to, because I hate losing the product.
Like mine, it happens because my jars are old. I actually have vintage jars, and when they break, I'm like, oh my god, those are vintage.
Vintage. I have jars from the 1930s. I don't can in them. I use them for storage because the canning is different because they've got like a glass.
No, like vintage. I mean like 50s, 60s, 70s.
Oh, okay.
Not that old. They all have the same. They all have the same, what do you call it? Not the lid, the ring. They have the ring fits on it. But the Golden Harvest has like this wider form and it's smaller. But the jars that I have is thinner and taller.
Yeah.
And there's a brand I've never seen here in Canada. It's Kerr. Kerr.
Oh, Kerr, yes. Kerr? Yeah, okay, yeah.
We no longer see this here. And in Quebec, we do not have access to Ball. The Ball jars.
Actually, in Canada, you don't. Bernardine is Ball. That's who makes it's the same.
Then
The
why can't we just
Bernadine,
have Ball
I
all
know.
over?
I know. I'm like, why they, but Bernard, that's who Ball makes for Canada. They make Bernadine. And I'm like, why don't you just call them Ball? like, I don't get that.
Because they want
But
to be different.
I will say, so I've done, if I count since maybe March when I started doing a lot more broths and stuff, I've done over probably 600 jars, counting the challenge and everything too, plus the jars
That's
I've used
nice.
for dehydrating. And all my lids I've used with 4-jar lids, I swear, I would not recommend something if I hated it. I'm not that type of person. I'm just not. So I love them. I absolutely love them.
Well, I
I'm
might stack. If
Well, once
like
I
this is
start, I mean, I'm being honest. I still have a lot of Bernadine ones I got to get through, which I
yeah.
will. But as I'm getting through them, I'll slowly start getting eventually the
Well, I
4-jar
used
lid.
to buy like 10 and then 2, 3 weeks later, 10 more
Yep,
boxes. But
yep.
this year I did it differently. I bought an entire box at the dollar store and then I waited 2 weeks and then I bought
That's what I did.
another box because it's $60.
Yeah,
And I'm like, it feels good because I have the safety in mind. Like I'm not gonna run out of lids.
yeah.
Well, I
And then
should not.
our local grocery store went and clearanced the wide mouth Bernadine lids, and I said,
Mhm.
"Why are these clearance?" Just out of curiosity. She said they're changing the box.
Yes.
The I got them. I got the wide mouth. They were normally $5 a box. I got them for $2 a box.
Nice.
So I am good for a while. So that's why I'm going to use them until and once I run out, I will stock up with 4-jar lids, and I've just kind of been getting them. But yeah, I've been rearranging my pantry shelves, and as I pulled out some of my pickle jars that I made just last summer, and I went to move one, dumped it all over me. The seal has broke while they've just been sitting around. Not
Mm.
happy, not happy. And those are Bernadine ones.
Well,
And some of them were
there's always gonna be a couple of jars per year that you're gonna lose. There's nothing
yeah,
you can do about it.
yeah. But I was like, what the heck? So I went and checked it, and I had 4 jars of pickles that had the lids were just sitting there. They weren't sealed anymore. And
Mm.
it's funny because they didn't smell bad. Like there was no, I still didn't eat them. I dumped them. But
Of
like I said
course.
to my mother, I said, isn't it weird? Oh no, we got a troll, I think maybe.
Really?
Yeah, not sure. But yeah, I was shocked that it didn't smell like spoiled. So my mother said either maybe the seal just broke, or because there's so much vinegar in the pickles, it kind of helped keep it from spoiling.
I don't know. Okay. I'm trying to see where the comment is. I don't know. I don't know. The Champion League.
I don't know.
I don't know. If that person makes another message,
Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see. I'll give this person the benefit of the doubt. Sorry, I cut you off.
Bristol lost me. Yeah, I shouldn't say that, troll. Maybe they're just confused on what live they're
Maybe.
on. Yeah.
Bye bye. Okay. Yes, Annie, I counted my jars
Mhm.
because Remy asked me. Actually, I'm gonna go back a couple of minutes. This morning, I lacked ideas, and I was exchanging ideas with Remy. What should I talk about? And then he started asking me questions about my pantry. So we said we should do a Q&A, and then I'm like, yes, I'm going to do a pantry thing. And then he says, have you counted your jars? Maybe you should talk about how many of each you've counted. I'm like, are you serious? Do you know how many jars I counted? He's like, no, I don't. And I
Mhm.
started counting all my jars and I said 373.
I'm gonna count mine up the last day of the Every Bit Counts challenge just to see how much I did just in this month. I'm not counting the whole summer. I just want to see what I use because it seems like a lot because it seems like every day I use some. So
I do not use the Classico mason jars in canning. I reuse them in dehydrated goods. Tammy from Rebel Canner sent me a link. Pressure canning in those jars can be tricky and it's not considered safe, but you can water bath can, if my memory is correct. But I choose to use those jars for dry goods or
I
like,
know a lot of people who do.
yeah.
I'm not saying you should. Not saying
Oh,
you shouldn't. I know a lot of people who do. You just have to use new lids, and
yeah.
obviously, but
And
yeah, but
they're
there's
not
certainly
this
a lot of people who do it.
you would have to take the time of like a liter because it's 750 millimeters.
Yeah.
So, but I know there's an article out there specifically for that. But if my memory's correct, pressure canning, they don't suggest you doing it. Yes, I love to have a nice jar with stuff already. Yes. My favorite part of like a full pantry, even though let's just say that it was canned from the store, and I would just go in my pantry, regardless if it's mason jars or canned goods from the store. I would just like grab 3-4 cans, and like some of them with meat, some of them without meat, and like just make this dinner out of those either canned goods that you did or canned goods from the store. No one thinks that you can do that with canned food, and no
I
one
know.
thinks that canned food tastes great. Like they all have that impression that canned food tastes like crap. Well, if it's canned properly and seasoned properly,
Yeah.
it tastes great.
Tastes awesome. And honestly, what do you think our great grandparents did? Even my parents, my mother, like I asked her when she was here, I said, Mom, when you were a kid, like in the winter, like what were grocery stores like? Obviously, she said they were a lot smaller than they are now. But like she said, you wouldn't see certain fruits and stuff because if they weren't in season, you didn't eat them.
No.
She said, and they literally got oranges in their Christmas stocking as part of their gift because oranges, are winter. People don't associate
Yeah.
it with winter, but they are. They're a winter fruit.
Yeah.
And they would get them, and you'd get them that way because usually you had a relative who lived in Florida that would send you a case back then, or the grocery stores would get some in. And
Yeah.
that's how we're kind of looking at things this next. I'm trying it to see for health reasons. We're going to see about eating more seasonally kind of thing. And that's why I've been doing a lot of dehydrating with my fruits and stuff. So if we do want strawberries in our yogurt in January, we'll be using them,
Yeah.
instead of, but yeah. So what do you think our great grandparents did? If like my mother said her grandmother canned strawberries. She literally canned strawberries and then she'd open strawberries and make strawberry shortcake in the middle of winter.
Yeah.
That's how they would have it because, she would think to can them in the summer. Because if you didn't, then you didn't eat them until the following
No.
summer. So, yeah, if they're canned properly, and I know to me, looking at my full pantry, my stockpile gives me peace of mind. I know if something were to happen, and if my husband can't, for whatever reason, if something happened, God forbid, and he can't work for a few weeks, we're okay. I
Yeah.
have enough food to make sure we're okay. Right. So,
Well, with the
and it makes me
pressure
feel good.
canner, you can pressure can beets in water. You can
Yep.
pressure can green beans, carrots, potatoes.
Yep.
What are the vegetables you can can in water?
Everything. Kidney
Peas.
beans. I just did my kidney beans in water.
Yeah, but like I love during the summer a salad. I put cooked beets, cooked green beans, tomatoes, and their slices of carrots and all that. And then I made a test because everyone keeps telling me that canned green bean tastes like crap. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to can them because I'm going to be the one eating them. I'm not going to
Yep.
take anyone's answer. So I decided to can like a small batch of 6 500 ml jars.
Yep.
And I opened one the other day and I opened like a 500 ml of beans, a 500 ml of beets. I emptied out the water. I made a huge pot of salad, cut up some fresh tomatoes in like balsamic vinegar, some olive oil, salt, pepper, fresh basil from the garden. I could have used dehydrated if it wasn't a minter. And it tastes great. So
Yeah.
this winter, Costco cherry tomatoes are the only tomatoes I can eat. So if I go to Costco and I buy a crate of tomatoes, I can have that salad multiple times
Yeah.
over
Yep.
the winter. So
And
I'm gonna can a boatload of beets and a
good for
boatload
you.
of green beans. And if I have to buy a big container of beans, of green beans, I will. because it's going to
I'm
be,
canning all my green and yellow beans this year because I will tell you, I like them. I'm talking about homemade canned beans, like the kind in a can. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm not a fan of because they have that little bit of that tinny taste. I prefer the homegrown, the home canned green beans to freezing them. I really do. I like them more, and they're already cooked. So literally, all you got to do is heat them up. That's it, and you're good to go. And I know what's in them. I don't put salt in mine. I don't put salt in anything because I do have high blood pressure. So I
Yeah.
have to control. And if we want salt, I'll add it when we're cooking or when we eat. So I don't put any in it. And like I just got a whole half a bushel of pears yesterday because our daughter loves the not the canned pears, but the little Dole plastic
Yeah.
fruit. And the price of them has gotten insane. If we can even find them, the ones in water, they're so
Yeah.
hard to find because there's tons in the syrup, but we don't buy them. So I'm going to can her small jars of all the pears she needs for all winter. So she doesn't have to, we don't have to pay, $5 for a little thing of 4 of them and not have to worry about not finding them. And I'm just doing them in water. I'm not doing them in syrup. I'm not even going to do them in juice. I'm just going to do them in water. So
I
she can
normally do my peaches in the light syrup.
Okay. Yeah.
There is a trick to can them in water, but I can't remember what it is.
Yeah, luckily my canning book has a recipe for the 3 different kinds with
Yeah,
juice,
there is a
syrup, or
version, but
water.
for us that's a
Yeah.
little splurge, like canning
Yeah.
peach, like, and it's light
Yeah.
syrup, so it's not that bad. For the comment that Marilyn made, something I don't like about YouTube is everyone is canning, but not everyone is canning carefully. I learned we cannot can pumpkin puree
I
with sweet.
know.
I remember seeing people. Okay, so
Yeah.
this is what I'm going to tell anyone out here or anyone that's watching this on replay. When you find a recipe online, regardless if it's YouTube, Instagram, any online recipe that you find, first of all, go on the website that are like official websites like Bernadine, Ball Recipe, or recognized people that made some research and compare the recipe to recipes that are considered secure. Because if you're new to canning and you do a recipe that's not considered secure, or you can get sick.
Yep. Or even worse.
Yeah, worst case scenario is like
Botulism.
die.
I mean, it's real.
Yeah.
Now, I do have a question because my husband and I were actually talking about the pumpkin yesterday.
Yeah.
Because I've always had to freeze my pumpkin puree, right? And then I'm like, oh, I got a pressure canner. I can pressure can it. And then I start reading how they don't recommend you canning pureed pumpkin or sweet potato or squash. But what I don't understand is you can buy canned pumpkin puree at your grocery store, and that is canned.
It's probably pressured higher.
I was wondering
Than
what we can get with
like a commercial Presto. What do you call it?
Okay.
An autoclave. Not Presto. That's a brand. The pressure's probably higher than ours.
Factory. That's what I was wondering, if it's somehow they can reach a higher temperature or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
That's the only logical thing I can find,
Yeah.
because if they can do it, there's a way to safely can.
I mean,
So
you can can pumpkin and squash and sweet potato cubed, cut up. You just can't puree it. So that's what I am doing, because at least then it's still, I still don't have to freeze it. I'll just have to puree it real quick. So that still does save you a step. But I was disappointed, but I'm glad I checked, because I'm like, oh, I was getting ready to do that. So I'm so glad I waited.
Like there's people I follow on YouTube, and they have like these fun recipes that I want to try. So I sit down with Annie from Mama Homemade, and what we do is we analyze the recipe and we look at the time that the recipe requires to be pressure can, and we look at all the ingredients. If anything has peels on them, you have to remove it. So if we want to do that recipe right off the bat, if they keep the peels on it, it is suggested to remove the peels, because the bacteria of botulism is on the peels. So I remove the peels. And if the time is, let's just say it's beef, and the time looks exactly what beef should be pressure can, and the ingredients look all kosher, and every single ingredient can be pressure can, then I'm going to do the recipe. There is one that I refuse to do because there was something sketchy about it. Like celery, there's always like this gray zone that you're
Mhm.
not supposed to can celery. It has to be in tested recipes. So
Okay.
if there is like someone that's sharing a recipe that I cannot find the exact copy online, I either remove the celery or I don't do it. Because like
It's like I when I did potatoes and I mentioned how I peel them because I've
Mhm.
read that no matter how much you wash them, you know, you cannot get all the dirt off. And if you
Yeah,
can them with the peeling on, you can get bacteria buildup and then you're gonna lose your product because you're gonna tell it looks
yeah.
bad.
Well,
And I
I
had a couple people
actually,
comment on my video, hey, I've always left the peeling on. I've always left the peeling on. And you know what? I'm not saying, don't you do what
you
you
do
feel
you.
comfortable. But
You
I
do
will
you.
say, when I parboiled my potatoes the other day, because I decided to freeze them, the dirt, and I scrubbed these suckers clean. The dirt that was in the hot water from where I parboiled them was shocking. And all I could think of is, wow, if I had pressure canned those with the peeling on, this is what my jars would look like.
Yeah. Like
Because I mean,
I
it
know
was
the chances,
crazy.
like Joanne says, for us to catch the bacteria is very slim.
Nowadays, but our
But
luck,
I like
we would get it.
with all the work that I put in putting
Yep.
like filling the jars and filling my pantry and all
And
the
growing it.
logistics, because
Yep.
everyone says, oh my god, it's super easy, but there's logistics behind having a filled pantry for 6 months, 9 months,
Yep.
12 months, or
Yep.
18 months. So with all that time and investment of my time that I will never have,
Yep.
I
Like Mary
prefer
Lynn said,
going,
or stress about it and worry about, geez, is this okay to eat?
yeah, and then I'm gonna
Um,
end up leaving the jar
yep.
on the shelf and never
Never
eat it.
eating it. And I
So
will say that's one sacrifice with my pantry. I mean, if you want to call it a sacrifice, the room I had to extend into because I outgrew because I have a small pantry that's in the same area as my washer and dryer. So in
mhm.
the winter, when the dryer's going more, I'm leery about what I keep in that one. So we went into our what we call our second living room. We never knew what the heck the room was. It's just the big room. It's kind of everything. It's my craft area. It's our workout. It's our gym. Um, I've got big curtains that block out light and cold and all that, blackout
Mhm.
curtains. They're closed pretty much 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, because your canned goods don't like light. If you're going to eat them in a couple of months, then I wouldn't worry about it. Like,
No.
but if you think they're going to be there, at least a year or longer, then you shouldn't be exposing them to light. So just to make sure, I've got blackout curtains, and they're pretty much on. They're pretty much closed 24/7. So that room is always dark.
Like it where my canned good is stored, there's a little window, and every year I keep saying that I'm gonna block it off. But there's so little light
Oh,
that
then if
goes
it's a
into
little
the room.
window, like these are great big huge windows, like in the
Yeah,
front
well,
of
the
our
window
house.
is maybe like 24 inches
Oh,
by or
yeah,
36 inches by 18. It's like a semi-finished basement. It's a crawl space.
yeah.
So I don't even know why they put windows in a crawl space. But anyways, so
Yeah.
I don't stress myself that much with that. But
No, no,
my
mine is,
pantry
yeah.
is in the stairs going in the crawl space. I had
Okay.
no
Well,
pantry here. I had to build my own and I have to extend it. And it's in like the staircase is going down.
yep. That's where part mine is too, because I have a
Oh,
crawl
sorry.
space
The
too.
staircase is going up is where my shelves are, and then I go down the staircase to access it, but like it's full. So
Yeah, we have a crawl space here too, and my husband built me a bunch of shelves this winter, and it's been holding jars. But as I'm running out of room on the shelves in here, I'll be filling up those jars with food. And
yep.
it's just as I open the door, they're right there because I don't like going down into our crawl space. I
Me
refuse. We've lived here 8 years, and nope, 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 don't like
I,
it.
I don't like it either. Like there's things crawling in there. When I go
Nope.
downstairs, I don't put my glasses on because like I don't want to see anything like that's funky or
Yep.
looking weird or spiders the size of my face. So I
Yep.
go downstairs like okay, I'm focusing, I'm picking up that box down the
Yep.
stairs and I pick up the box and I go back.
Me too. And I don't even have to go that far. I walk down maybe 2 steps and I'm like grabbing it and turning around and going. I'm like, Lynn, you're not even at the bottom. You're literally still at the top of the
And then
stairs.
I go see my husband. I'm like, is there spiders in my hair? Is there spiders?
Yeah, not a fan. Not
Not
a
a fan.
fan of it.
But like
I'd
I
love to
like
turn it
the
into a root cellar. I'd love to turn it into like a actual functioning root cellar, but
I would love
um,
that too.
we're on a high water table here, and we have a sump pump down there, so it's kind of damp. So I
Yeah.
don't know. I think it would cost us a fortune to try to turn it
Uh
into a functional root cellar.
I have you seen the video from Justin Rhodes where he uses a air conditioner to make a walk-in fridge?
No.
Check it out.
Okay.
Sodaland is designing the walk-in fridge for them, and they're
Oh,
using an air conditioner. So the
huh.
walls are insulated as a walk-in fridge, and they're the only thing they're using, I think, because I didn't watch it all because it was not
Right.
something
Yeah.
I was interested in, but it was an air conditioning.
Huh.
So I have the same problem. Every spring, water comes up just a little bit in the crawl space. It's nothing huge. It's like during the thaw period,
Yeah. We don't get
and
water. We have the sump pump, so we hear the
yeah,
sump
so
pump
the
pumps
sump
it
pump
out,
goes
but
on like
we still have a hole, right? That has water in it. So I mean, that's not fun to look at.
no,
It's creepy. And it's just yeah, it and you can't stand up, right? Like I'm
no.
not very tall and I can't stand up. You
Yeah,
know, when
working
we had
downstairs,
that
I always have to go like this.
we had that tornado come through and we had to go down in there,
Oh
right? For the
God.
few, and our son is 6'1" and he's like this trying to, I'm like,
Oh my God.
we might need to work on putting like a bench right at the bottom of the stairs so he can at least
Yeah,
sit there kind of thing. So he's not, because it was like 15-20 minutes, you know, he was hunched over.
I think
So
if ever apocalypse happen and I go downstairs, the jars are just there. So that means I'm gonna have to bring like spoons and plates downstairs. Oh,
yeah, I will. I mean, I would love to have, or even I've seen people building outside their home root
yeah,
cellars, you know, like that, you know. But I need to win the lottery to do a lot of the things I want to do.
yes. Here I would have to invest. I have a space in my crawl space that they dug, and I can actually stand up, and I could convert it into a walk-in, not a fridge, a walk-in cellar, but I would have to invest in cedar planks. So the
Okay.
entire walls would have to become cedar planks, and those are like a fortune.
Yep.
And the
Especially
window
in
that's
the summer.
there, I would have to put an air conditioner with a vent to use like to make the air escape outside and keep the area at the perfect
Yeah.
temperature
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
But just the air conditioner you can buy it used. It's not that of a problem. The vent, same thing, doing the air circulation to make sure that there's no mold in there. That's the easy part. But the
Yeah.
investment is for the rodent and the pest
The
pressure.
rodents, exactly.
It's the cedar wood, and those planks are like two. I think it was two for 100,
Yeah.
$150.
Right now, it's wood is like worth is more than gold right now.
Yeah. So this year, and then this is gonna be one of the last things I say. I'm using those black totes that you
Yep.
buy at hardware stores,
The
and I'm
really
gonna
heavy
put,
duty ones. Yep.
yeah, pine shavings,
Yep.
and I'm gonna put my beets in there,
Oh.
turnips, carrots. I'm not gonna wash them.
Mm.
I'm just gonna scrub them.
Maybe that's what I'll do with my potatoes, Annie. Maybe I'll try that. I mean, I grew them in totes, so why not store them in
Darren
totes?
gave me an idea to put my sweet potatoes, my potatoes. I'm not sure if it's sawdust or
I think it's
which one is.
sawdust. Yeah.
There's, well, whatever you can get your hands
I was
on,
gonna say,
but
but where am I gonna get enough sawdust? But pine
yeah, I
shavings?
think potatoes is sawdust, but
Okay.
that's one of the things I'm gonna try. And I'm not getting the cheap ones. I'm getting the black
Yeah, I know what ones you mean. I've got a
party
couple of them in
ones. They
our
have the
garage.
yellow tops.
Yes, yeah, I have a couple of those, and they are rodent proof. I've had them a
Yeah,
couple of years now, and they're the only ones so far that I haven't opened it up and found evidence of stinking
yeah.
seeds and
So I
stuff.
think I'm gonna can some. I'm gonna keep some fresh in my pantry, like my upstairs pantry, and I think I'm gonna try one tote of
Yeah,
potatoes
I'd
in
love to try to
dust.
keep some fresh. That would be
Yeah.
great. But I mean, I will say too, just real quick, is I really don't need a root cellar because we are only a family of four, and the kids honestly don't eat a lot of the like the whole meals, like the soups and stuff I'm going to be canning. That's just for David and I. So I don't need I really like my husband kept saying, goes, you got to remember, there's only about 2 of us going to be eating a good 70% of what you're canning.
Yes.
So, I mean, they'll eat the jams, they'll eat the butters, like the apple butter, the pumpkin butter. I'm going to try pear butter, the applesauce, the blueberry sauce. They'll eat those things, but they're not, and they'll eat some of the vegetables, very few, but they'll eat some. So yeah, I'm like, that's why I'm like, yeah, I got to remember, I'm not a family of 8. We don't need.
Here potatoes. If I do the mashed potatoes.
Yep.
And like my son looks at me. Okay, you're done, mom. Like, yeah, I'm done. He looks at his sister. Emilia,
Are
you're
you
done?
done?
Yeah, everyone's done. So he's like,
he eats the rest. Yep.
If I would not stop him, he would literally stuff his face into the bowl and all over the place, and he'd have like potatoes all over.
Yeah.
He loves mashed potatoes.
But I'm not going to keep you in it because I know you really did want to get the kids on their bed habit. Where
yeah, well,
my son's
right next door right now.
Them. I can hear them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
my son's 15, and I already told him, hey, bud, the next night or 2, you need to start getting used to going to bed earlier again because 6 o'clock is very early.
Johan said, potatoes don't need sawdust. Just drill a couple of holes in the lid.
And they won't like sweat in the plastic? That's what I was worried about. Like they won't get like condensation or anything?
Like I know that's the plan. I just don't know how I'm going to do it. When I'm going to harvest all the potatoes, I'm probably going to panic a little bit. And then
I harvested all mine, and I don't have we've ate quite a few throughout the summer, but I have maybe 20 pounds that I got to figure out what I'm going to do with. I've already frozen lunch too. Like I've froze a ton.
No, I'm actually curing them. I'm letting them in the soil. I'm taking a risk. I'm waiting for the plant to actually die so that when I
my plant did die. Yeah, my plants were all dead. So that's why I'm like, okay, time to get you guys. And right now they're just in one of the big buckets I grew them in, not washed. They're all just like sitting in there, and they have been for a couple of days. So now I can decide. I stored my potatoes in 5-gallon buckets.
Well, if it's that easy, I'm going to try that. I'm going to try it. I think I'm going to try.
A Canadian Tire and Home Depot sell food grade 5-gallon buckets for just a couple of dollars.
I saw that. I'm going to go get some.
Yeah. Or do you have Bulk Barn in Quebec?
Yes.
They sell them. They'll sell you their frosting containers, all of them for $1 with the
lid.
I bought a couple from them last week.
I have to go there too.
Yeah, and they're already cleaned. I mean, I brought them home and cleaned them again, but they're all cleaned and everything. And they'll come.
Because I would store my flour in that.
I did. And I bought those Gamma lids from Amazon. Okay. They're game changing. Those Gamma lids. Oh my gosh. Because then I had to use like a crowbar to get the stupid lids off. I'm not kidding. So yeah, but you can get them at Bulk Barn. They'll sell them to you for, or at least here, they'll sell them to you for $1 a piece. And I'm like, can I have 5? She goes, well, let me go see how many we have. She goes, oh, we literally had 5. So, because I needed them for I kept the chicken feed and some, and some things for the dogs. And yeah, so Bulk Barn, check them out first before you go.
Well, I'm close to Ontario, so if ever there's a Bulk Barn on the Ontario side, I can always go check there.
Yeah.
You guys, if I know that pantry is a very hot subject, so if you guys want next week, we can do like a part 2, have more questions, speak more about it. If you're up for a chat, if someone else wants to come, also they're welcome. So let me know, and then I'm gonna let you guys go. After that, I'm gonna wait 1 more minute. If people
have a good first week back to school, I bet you're looking forward to it too.
Oh God, it's gonna be hectic. I have half days, and then I have full days, and then there's days that my youngest doesn't go to school, and then I have to remember all of that. My brain is like la 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 la.
Is this the first year all 3 are in school?
Second year.
Second year, okay.
My last year was pre-K, and then this year is kindergarten. Okay, so Marilyn says she wants more, so we can maybe work in like specific subjects, maybe more in a direction.
Yeah,
and we can do. Now we have a troll. So sorry.
I'm sorry, they just make me laugh. I just laugh because I mean, Annie, it means you're getting more popular when you're getting the.
Yes. Well, thanks everyone. Thanks for everyone popping in. Don't forget to do a thumbs up. That helps me a lot. And I think we've posted your link somewhere in the comments, and I also
Yeah, I
posted
think
your
Wendy
link to
did.
your channel in my description. So if you want to go check out Lynn, she is a homesteader just like I am. She lives in Ontario, and she has lots of fun stuff on her channel. So you can go check her out and show her some love. So take care, everyone. Bye.
Good night.